Hey guys, welcome back. It's Jen. Welcome to my channel. As many of you may know, I am a CARC, I am a CRPA, I am a rape crisis counselor, and I am also a trainer of Narcan. And this is my channel. If you look in the description box down below, you'll see I have merchandise as well as a Patreon and an Amazon wish list. In this wish list are items that I use to help local people in my area. I know some of you guys have been questioning, well, first off, some people thought I was pregnant, and I am absolutely not. And then some other people were like, well, why can't we donate directly to them? Well, because they're homeless. And if any of you have ever experienced homelessness, you know that you don't have a bank account. Sometimes you don't even have an ID. You don't even have a way to cash a check or, any of those places. And in Delaware County, so the county that I live in, if you stretch it out, it's actually the size of Rhode Island, okay? We have one shelter that can comfortably sleep 6 women. I personally live there myself. If you donate something to that shelter, it's going to the county, not to the actual people who need it. It's just the way it works around here. So yeah. But anyway, today's video, I thought I would give you guys some examples of the things that I cannot do on parole. There's roughly about 10 of them off the top of my head that I can't do. And some of them are mind-boggling, to be quite frank. So, the main things that bother me, like I can't have a checking account. I can have a savings account, but I can't have a checking account. Well, let me just scooch you guys back a little bit. Okay. So I cannot have a checking account. I have a savings account. So that means I don't have a debit card. I don't have a card. Like everyone goes to the store and just like uses their card. I actually had to go and sign up for a Venmo account. So this way I could link my savings account to it. So I can have a card like everyday people. So this way, I can pay like my electric bill, my phone bill, things like that. Otherwise, it's kind of embarrassing to not be able to have that option in life. But it is what it is. I cannot leave state. It used to be I couldn't leave county, but parole actually as a whole in New York State changed that. So I cannot leave state unless I get express written permission from my parole officer, which I legitimately have requested 3 times and been denied 3 times. Let's see. I cannot stay out past 9 p.m. I have a curfew from 9 p.m. at night to 8 a.m. in the morning. I must be in my home, which is no big deal for me because I'm old. So it's whatever. This one really sucks. I cannot live with my husband. So we are paying separate utilities, separate rent, separate bills, separate everything. We could own a house by now. Yeah. So don't ever take for granted living with your significant other, because honestly, I would love to lay in bed at night with my husband. As many of you know, we just got permission after 15 months of being separate. We just got permission to be together. Sucks. I have to read off my little notepad because I can't remember them all. This is one that really resonates with me, specifically in the last couple of weeks, month or so. I have to get my jobs approved because I work in the human services field. I have to say, sure, thank you for that job offer, but hold on one second. Let me go ask my parole officer if I'm allowed to. I literally just got a job working at a hospital locally to be a assistant in their rehab, which is right up my alley, and parole denied me the job. So because of that, I now so far I've been denied 2 jobs by parole. Well, let's see what next week brings when I report and I discuss a different job with them. Let's see if they deny that one, which sucks because in this time, especially with jobs being so difficult, to find and COVID and all that, I'm getting job offers left and right because I busted my ass for them, but I'm not allowed to accept them. And this was actually people like me that have multiple felonies and have basically fucked up as much as I have in life to get a job. Lena, my cat, I'm sorry guys. If I was to get a job offer like that in a different part of my life, it'd be amazing. But to get that job offer now is monumental, amazing. I would have retirement. I would have full benefits for me, Bella, and Jared. I would be vested. I would get the rest of the clinical hours I need in order to get my CASAC. Like, there's just amazing. It's just, oh my God, it would be amazing. And they were like, no. We send too many people there on parole, and we think that would put you in an awkward position. How would that put me in an awkward position? I work with these people anyway, people. Like, what? So that's really shitty, that one. Hopefully I'm off parole by the end of this year and I can reapply and get the job. But who knows if it'll even still be available. I cannot carry, as a single woman living alone and walking around alone, I am not allowed to carry any type of self-defense items. I cannot carry pepper spray. I can't carry, like any of those. You ever see like those keychain alarm thingies that notify you if you're being followed, like to the public and stuff? I can't carry any of them. Nothing like that. Another thing, I've been very lucky and I fought and worked very hard for it, but I wasn't allowed to have a driver's license for a very long time. The only reason why I was able to get a driver's license is because the agency that I worked for last year, when they hired me in the hiring packet that they approved, it specifically said within 90 days of my employment, I had to have my driver's license. If it wasn't for that, I don't think I'd have a driver's license right now. And she actually even said to me at one point in time, well, you're not working, and you're still driving, right, to the store to go get groceries. Like, so whatever. I mean, that's another frustrating thing. Like, I know, so they tell you who you can and cannot have contact with. Jared cannot contact his ex-wife, the mother of his children, whom we happen to have a wonderful relationship with recently, and it's beautiful. Her and I speak frequently. We are on the exact same path as far as how we feel the children should be parented, and I just spoke with her last week, and I was like, if this is getting too much for you and you need a day off, tap me in, girl, I got you. And we conversate, we text, we keep in contact, but he can't speak to the mother of his children. And I asked her about it, and she was like, that was never a request of mine. So why would they go and do that? So it just makes re-entering into the family dynamic even that much harder. Like, it's just, some of this stuff is just ridiculous, You can pay child support. Some people, this is one of the things, you can pay child support, but you can't see your child because they're too small for you to call and make arrangements with them. But you're not allowed to speak to their other parent. So how are you supposed to see your child? These are just some of the trials and tribulations. Like, parole is supposed to be, as in my opinion, from what I understand, what makes sense to me, parole is supposed to be the go-between between the convicted felons and the community. So they're supposed to be in the middle to help you acclimate into being a productive member of society, right? Okay, cool. But instead, they give you all these obstacles. You can't drive. I live in a very rural area. You can't drive. We have no public transportation, but yet you're required to make so many meetings a week. Like, you have to go to DSS, mental health, treatment, whatever is put on your plate in your stipulations when you first come home. Those are the things that you're supposed to do, right? But you can't drive. And you can't associate with certain people. But yet those are the only people that that have transportation to and from these things that are willing to give you help, They give you a supervision fee every month. So you pay to stay on community supervision. If you are unemployed, I think it's $5 or $10 a month. Part-time employment is $15 a month, and full-time employment is $30 a month. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're over here and you are strapped to the max, right? And you are paying your light bill, you are paying your Wi-Fi bill, you are paying your cell phone bill, you're paying your rent, you're paying your child support, you still have to eat, you probably have to give somebody gas money to take you to your appointment, and you're working and doing the most that you can. That extra $30 a month can really be detrimental to someone. We don't look at things like that. We don't realize that, for me, I did 2 years. I came home And by the grace of my God and the universe, things are put into play for me, and I'm as successful as I am, and I'm doing as well as I am. But it wasn't always like this. I washed dishes. When I came home from prison, 48 hours after my release, I've mentioned this place before, Cagino's in Delhi, New York, gave me my first job. I walked in and the owner's wife was like, "You're cute, you're honest." I said, "Ma'am, I have to be very transparent with you. I can't start right now. I'm on parole. I don't know if she's gonna let me stay out." She goes, "Oh my God, I know her. I'll call her." From 48 hours out of prison, I was employed and I washed dishes. Pizzeria dishes. Sucked. But you know what? I made my little 80 something dollars. I went home. I went to sleep. It was an honest living. They gave me a chance. They didn't judge me. They didn't ridicule me, but this doesn't happen often. And unfortunately, these are the things that we face. Like, I asked to go see Jess. Jess and I have been friends, as everyone knows, for over a decade. Before I even ended the conversation, my parole officer said, "Oh, Illinois, Jessica Kent, ? In a text. She doesn't even live in the state anymore. She's not on parole. She's doing amazing things. She's helping people. But these are the prejudices that stay in these people's minds, and they don't let them go. And once they get one impression of you, that's it. That's it for life. Like, that's it for life. Jessica has not lived in this state in years. I mean, years, okay? 5, 6, 8 years. She has not been on parole in New York State since she's a late teenager, early 20s, okay? We had the same parole officer right away. Doesn't make a difference what she's doing now. All she knows is what she did in the past. So sadly, these are the things that we go through being on parole. The stigma and the judgment in this area is so heavy. It is unreal. It's just sad, really. But I just thought you guys would find it interesting to know what I can and cannot do on parole. It's like I'm a child, But the things that bother me the most is not being able to live with my husband. We're supposed to be productive members of society, and as a married couple, we live apart, and we're gonna have that whole entire situation to navigate once this ends, which I'm sure we'll do just fine. He'll drive me crazy, and I'll annoy him, and we'll be good. But I mean, as far as really pisses me off is the accepting of the jobs. It's just, you want me to be a productive member of society and acclimate back in, but yet you're literally holding me by the head and saying, not that though. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in a few days. Bye.